Group Incorporated. Their phone number is 805-549-7570. 805-549-7570. For the gout study, call 805-549-7570. That's 805-549-7570. Okay, you're in the market for a new car, and you've done your homework. Legroom? Check. Plenty of power? Check. Upholstery? Enough for an army. Now, for the best deal. There's not much in the newspaper anymore, and online can be confusing. That's why there's ShopTheLots.com. The hot, clear specials from dealers right here in the 805.
How you doing, man? Good, dude. Debit? Can I get like 75 cents, or does it got to be an increment to 20? I need quarters for a paper. If you can't do it, I ain't stressing.
I can do it to a penny if you want a penny.
I would love 3 quarters if you can do that.
But anywhere from 1 cent to $40 for you.
Sweet. Some places won't do it, and yeah, Walmart don't do it. A few others. So I don't.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. I thought there was one on that one. I thought there was one at both.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You have a great day.
You too.
Neil Monroe. Neil will join us to talk about the White House rapper Common that we've been talking about tonight. The rapper whose poems include talk of killing cops, and Neil Monroe will give us the lowdown on that. We'll also be talking about why the Navy SEALs would have been able to fight their way out of Pakistan if needed. Yeah, I don't know if you see the story. Saw the story. I mentioned it in passing last night. I didn't really take it seriously, but I'd love to talk to Don Mann, who was going to be on the show a little bit later on this hour, to talk about whether or not the Navy SEALs would have been able to fight their way out of Pakistan. That's what the Obama administration is saying in sort of a tough talk that I think is designed to show the president in a good light. But I'm going to ask one of these guys, a retired Navy SEAL, Don Mann, whether or not that's even possible. I mean, I understand, we know that the Navy SEALs are amazing at what they do. But put 40 guys up against 400 or 4,000 in that country? Those of you who've read the book or seen the movie Black Hawk Down know what happens. Even when the best of our best, who are so skilled and talented, it's hard to believe the things they're capable of doing. Put them up against an overwhelming number of people, badly trained, local yokels and Indonesian. You know what ends up happening? A lot of Americans end up dead. We'll talk about that as well. A lawyer has now told the they're trying to get them put up. I've always wondered about those. I figured that there's knuckleheaded college kids, but what better kind of cover if you wanted to do a little bit of human intelligence gathering? You have some folks who just look like knuckleheaded college kids wandering around near the border of Iran, and wonder why it was that they were where they had been told not to be, and what's going to happen when they go on trial in Iran. Oh, and Southern California, you're going to love this. They've now passed legislation that mandates what kinds of bed sheets can be used by hotels, and there is a backstory to that, because there are some people who believe that we will have fewer worker injuries if we specify the kinds of bed sheets that can be used by hotels and the kind of bed that somebody has to make. Frankly, I know they're worried about it, but it seems like an awful lot of those jobs are going to illegal aliens who are subject to workers' compensation. I may have to actually care about that one. Okay, your phone calls and emails welcome to tonight. 866-439-5277 is toll-free and nationwide. And this hour of the program is brought to you by the Heritage Foundation. Go to heritage.org and sign up for New Common Sense. It comes out once a week. It connects the dots between today's issues, the things we talk about on the program, and the first principles of the Constitution that should be guiding them. Our quick poll tonight also has to do with the rapper known as Common. Should the White House have a rapper as a guest who talks openly about killing cops? You can find that quick poll by going to www.larslarson.com, and I'm glad to have you go there and vote on the quick poll. Check out the free stream of that program that we allow, that we make available, I should say, during the live hours of the program. Oh, and if you'd like to send an email, emails to talk at Lars Larson. We pick the best email of each hour, and we read some other ones, but the best one each hour wins a free premium membership to the website. That gives you downloads and podcasts at no additional charge. And this one came in from Greg, unsigned as the Hey, Lars, I heard you comment on Live in America. I recently received an email from a thinking friend. He said he was looking through the supermarket at canned goods. He noticed that each item he looked at had a number of options. One of those options happened to be the country of origin. I know it's hard to believe, but most of the canned goods had a made in the USA label. Being an inquisitive soul, he meandered through the rest of the store from fresh fruit to frozen. Most were the same. So that got me thinking, say if everyone each week only bought one USA item on their list of groceries that they may not have had in the past, that's millions of new sales each week. Now, if you say bought a couple of new items and bought 2 or 3 of those items, reminds me of an old Arlo Guthrie song with pictures and arrows, the exponential escalation is mind-boggling. This conceivably could put thousands back to work in just weeks. Well, I guess if you believe that those thousands would be American citizens, if they're out picking produce, if they're working in a cannery, they may well be illegal aliens. Would it cost more? Yeah, I'd check. Most of the canned foods were 20 to 30 cents a can higher. I've always been a Safeway supermarket kind of guy, but I found that to further this little endeavor, I checked out the local health food store. It has a high percentage of local stuff. I've actually found some foods there that I can eat. Thanks for listening. I'm Greg. Greg, thanks a lot for the feedback. Good email that hour. The best email each week wins a coin from Goldline. It's a 1/10 ounce gold coin, and with gold going for $1,500 an ounce, that's not such a bad prize, and we're glad to do it. That's gold that's dug, minted, mined, and everything else here in the United States. The content purity guaranteed by the United States government. Let me give you some details on what's going on with this effort by the Congress to force the president to let drilling happen so Americans can drill for their own oil. 98% of America's offshore oil is off limits at this moment to drilling. Okay, think about the various places you can drill and where you can't. In theory, the Gulf is available. The problem is the Obama administration has not been granting many permits. But Most of Florida, off limits. Most of the Atlantic coast, off limits.